You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news tonight, a busy and dangerous intersection near Manatee County community is still causing problems for homeowners. As ABC7's Rick Adams shows us, the intersection at State Road 64 and the entrance into the Grayhawk Landing community has been the scene of numerous accidents, but change may soon be on the way.
Well, this is the intersection folks around here say is very dangerous. There's hope that there will be a solution to this problem very soon.
It's very frustrating for all of us and dangerous.
Dirk Bryant's home in Grayhawk Landing is his piece of paradise. As for the intersection leaving and going into his development, it's anything but paradise. It's a nightmare. There have been many serious accidents at this intersection on State Road 64, including a crash that killed one of the neighbors.
What's happening lately is it's 3 and 4 car accidents, which puts everybody's life in jeopardy. And we have so many young drivers too in Grayhawk, and that makes it even more difficult.
This is very concerning for Melvin Corteil. He's lived in Grayhawk Landing since 2012. The husband and father of 3 is nervous for his family.
It's been a constant danger. We're all a bit afraid leaving the intersection every morning, especially if you're turning left. It's almost it's a death trap is probably the best way to put it.
Residents are pushing for a traffic signal at the intersection. FDOT tells us they are aware of the concerns and desires for the community. They are now looking at a short-term solution. One long-term solution they are researching is a roundabout, which they say is still a few years away.
We just want everybody to be safe. So really we need something done. If they can put some temporary stoplights in there, that would be awesome.
And FDOT tells us they will be coming up with an interim solution in the coming weeks. That's certainly something that can't come soon enough for the folks who live around here and for the folks who drive around here. Reporting from Manatee County, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you very much, Rick. A downtown Sarasota business owner is watching her building crumble as a neighboring business constructs an 11-story condominium. Maria Alberta Bori owns Malby Italian Artisan Decor on Pineapple Avenue. Since construction started on the Mark property surrounding her business, Bori says cracks have formed on the floor and walls, and now the bathroom door is a struggle to open because the foundation is no longer level. Bori is worried that the building is no longer structurally sound because of this construction. According to an engineering firm that surveyed the property, the exterior walls of her building were chemically grouted. That's what Bori feels is causing the issues with the foundation.
They said, oh, don't worry, we will fix the crack. But we were not asking to fix the crack. We can fix our cracks. The problem is that we want to know exactly what they did.
The Coulter Group owns the Mark property and released the following statement, quote, "We are aware of Mrs. Bori's issues regarding her property and we are working with the City of Sarasota, Mrs. Bori, engineers and other professionals to investigate the situation and ensure the protection of her property during our construction." And construction on Sarasota's controversial lift station project is getting louder, and the general contractor has a high-tech way to keep tabs on how much noise it is creating. If you drive by the site on US 41 at the 301 split near downtown Sarasota, you've probably seen the fenced-off construction site, and now you may be hearing it as well. Neighbors have been dealing with that noise at the site in Lukewood Park on and off for over 10 years now. Contractors have installed 2 vibration monitors on both sides of the project. The project manager says an underground sensor beneath the solar powering panel will let them know when the noise and vibration reaches a certain level.
When it gets to that limit, we get a notification, or the construction team does, that we're within 80% of that level. That way we can cut off construction activities, figure out what's causing the higher vibrations and resolve it before it can impact the structure. It is a construction zone. There will be impacts. Our job is to monitor those impacts and notify the residents when there is a level that exceeds what they're used to, or try to modify construction techniques to reduce the levels of vibration or noise.
That project is set to be completed in 2 years. Mote Marine Labs unveiling a massive project today to expand their aquarium over the next 3 years. This is what Mote's new state-of-the-art aquarium could look like by the end of 2021. The state-of-the-art facility will double the size of Mote's current aquarium and generate an estimated $28 million in annual economic impact. The aquarium will be built on current county-owned land at Nathan Benderson Park and is expected to draw 700,000 visitors in its first year alone. The move allows Mote to expand its research facilities at their current City Island location and will also offer free interactive teaching labs to area students to inspire more marine education.
I think everything about it is amazing, and it's going to be amazing for Sarasota and Bradenton. It's just an amazing project.
We are going to make sure that every child in this region, has an opportunity for hands-on STEM experiences at this facility.
Thursday marked the start of Mote's campaign to raise $130 million for the new aquarium, which they say is already 20% complete. They hope to break ground by the end of 2019. Certainly looking forward to that. Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with what you can look forward to tomorrow's news, or forecast rather.
Well, I'll tell you, we are looking at warm temperatures, Jacqueline, for certain. Now, we had that today, temperatures into the low 80s near the beaches, mid 80s inland, and 69 degrees right now, so it's still warm. It's still pretty muggy, too. The dew point temperature at 61. We have an east wind at 10 and the pressure 30-28, and that is extremely high, and that did not allow that front to do much, except a few isolated showers were reported this evening across parts of the Sun Coast, most everyone remaining dry, though. And you can see from the satellite imagery and the review over the past 12 hours or so, we still have that steady west to east flow, no direct north to south, and that's in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We are looking at some winds, though, basically out of north. What's down to the west of us? Well, we have a little disturbance in here in the Gulf, but this is more than likely going to scoot well to the north of us, so our rain chances will stay fairly low over the next couple of days. 54 degrees right now into Jacksonville, so a bit cooler there. 69 at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport, 76 now in Miami. And as far as rainfall goes, there are some showers along the east coast with that easterly wind along that old frontal boundary, but not much going on here. As I mentioned, we had a few isolated showers earlier. Those have since moved on. We'll have more on the weather forecast in just a few minutes. Jacqueline?
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. The Sarasota YMCA is on the road to recovery after Hurricane Irma, all thanks to an award from the Community Foundation of Sarasota County. The Y receiving $15,000 through the Hurricane Irma Relief and Recovery Fund to help pay for property damages at YMCA facilities. The Sarasota Y programs serve around 50,000 people here in Sarasota. New legislation moving in Tallahassee would require counties to identify facilities and homes where power restoration is a matter of public health, safety, welfare, or security. Current state law does not lay out the process by which electric service is restored following a disaster such as a hurricane. Under the new bill, power restoration priority would be given to places like hospitals, police stations, public shelters, and critical government buildings. Certification process would also be set up for residential customers who are medically dependent on electricity in order to get them that power back on more quickly.
It kind of gives us a statewide format for how we're going to be able to make sure that the residents of Florida have the proper services once they're in the unfortunate circumstance of lack of a certain utility because of a hurricane.
That piece of legislation would also require electric companies to give multiple notices to medically needy residential customers prior to the power being turned off for lack of payment. If passed, the legislation would take effect on July 1st. And a bill to permanently fund anti-abortion pregnancy centers is heading to Florida Governor Rick Scott's desk. The Senate voting 21-12 in favor of that bill today. Florida legislatures have set aside money for the pregnancy centers since 2006, but the $4 million has to be renewed each year in the annual budget. Those who oppose the bill argue that the state should not fund religious organizations or pregnancy centers that don't provide a full range of services, while supporters say that the state would simply be helping care for women who choose to go through with their pregnancies. Stay with us. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your First Alert forecast, plus another down day for the Dow, what investors say this means for the economy. And an open house on the possibility of oil drilling off the Florida coast, what both sides can agree on.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Drive a brand new 2018 Lincoln MKC for $279 per month or the Lincoln MKZ for $299 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment. Every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, as you just saw, another dismal day for the markets. The Dow ending down 1,032.89 to stand at 23,860.46. As ABC's Maggie Rulli reports, that's a 4% loss.
The look on their faces says it all. Anxious traders on Wall Street watching the Dow close more than 1,000 points down. This drop coming on top of Monday's massive sell-off, the largest point drop in history. The Dow's now down 10% from its high in January in what analysts are calling an official correction.
It's an opportunity for people to get back in and for the market to adjust to what some people think is a bit more of a correct price for markets relative to the company earnings that they are based on.
Investors tell ABC News the fast and furious sell-off is actually about anxiety the economy's doing too well, too quickly, and fears the Federal Reserve may have to hike rates in order to keep inflation under control.
They're looking a couple years in the future. So when they see something that they think could turn into serious inflation a few years out, it can get people worried.
Even with this week's fall off, experts say don't worry too much yet. All other economic data, like jobs reports, are still pointing towards a booming economy. And you could think of it this way. If you put $1,000 in your 401k a year ago, the average investor would still be up 12%, making that $1,125. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, Bob, a great day for you to get out and enjoy the weather and golf and, of course, raise some money for charity.
Absolutely. That was the fun part of it. You know, you're raising all the money, obviously, of $140,000 last year and just $60,000 alone for the golf tournament today, and had over 65 stars out there, star athletes of the years gone by.
Impressive.
And, it was interesting to talk to a lot of them. We had a great guy, too, with us, Ken Singletary, who was great. And I used to listen to him on the radio. He's played for the Baltimore Orioles. He played for other teams, too, but that's who I knew him from.
And how did you guys do out there today?
18 under.
Okay.
18, that usually wins, but we were in third place.
Really? You guys were in third place?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
And with that score.
And there were some other scores, too, that were pretty good. But we had great weather. I think everyone won as far as that goes. And get a look at this shot this morning. This was some Venice Beach. Interesting, isn't it? Look at that sea fog that was out there. And it was around in places across the Suncoast this morning, but it burned off. And boy, it made for a great beach afternoon. And this is another interesting shot. I was noticing this when I was playing golf and hacking up the course a little bit. But you can see right there the cirrus contrails of tic-tac-toe in the sky. That's the result of the exhaust from the jet traffic, and there's a lot of it down here now, all coming to Florida. Appreciate that photo from Linda Wright. As far as KCK webcam goes, well, fairly calm conditions out on the water. Seas running less than 2 feet for the most part. Gorgeous sunset tonight here along the Suncoast, and that upper level wind flow continues to be from the west to the east. The front came down, and once it gets parallel with the front, it doesn't push any further south, so it's pretty much dissipating right over the top of us. We did get a switch to a north wind earlier, but now we're starting to see a return to the east wind as high pressure is building in behind it. Little system here will mainly move to the north of us and not have a big impact on our weather. Futurecast showing that activity kind of drifting off to the north over North Florida, some showers there off of Georgia. You see the kind of lift here, so we're going to see more of a south to southeasterly wind flow, which will warm us up again tomorrow. We'll have highs right around 80 degrees, and that's going to be a familiar pattern, I think, over the upcoming days. 69 right now, it's warm, and the dew point 61. Winds are out of the east at 10. The pressure way up there, and high today was 80 degrees. 73 was your normal temperature, so well above average. 54 degrees in Jacksonville right now, 62 in Orlando. A bit warmer in Miami, still 76 into Miami. That's summer-like reading right there at this hour. 65-degree water temperature, and that's warming up. Gulf water temperature responds means that warm means temperatures will stay fairly warm along the coast. We'll see low temperatures into the mid-60s. Our normal lows for this time of year right around 53, 54 degrees. So tomorrow we'll start off warm. We'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. Temperatures topping 80 degrees, and some inland areas, Lakewood Ranch, we'll see a high right around 84 degrees, and we're talking Parrish around 83. Well, the satellite and radar imagery showing a couple of interesting things going on right now. The storm track is located to the north over the northern plain states and shifting off to the east right now. There's a couple of quick snow bursts, we call them, as they're pushing on through right now into Chicago, into northern Indiana. Schools are going to be closing over parts of northern Ohio, southern Michigan over the next 24 hours as winter snow advisories are in effect. You can see that all across parts of northwest Ohio into southern portions of Michigan, stretching off to Chicago. Well, for us, that rain stays to our north, basically, pushing off to the northeast. You can see some snow showers up into northeast United States, and another round of snow comes on Sunday over the same locations. So it looks as though winter is going to hold on for a much longer time over the Great Lakes and throughout the Northeast. As far as current temps go, the Arctic blast is moving into Wisconsin and also into Minnesota, Minot now at -3, and temperatures very cold in Ohio into the teens and 20s. So for boaters tomorrow, looks good. East winds turning to the southwest at 5 to 10 knots and seas running 1 to 2 feet. Well, here's the 7-day forecast. As we see it, 20% chance for a shower or two tomorrow. Not much, but then the rain chance is staying fairly low right on in through the period, and we'll see temperatures into the low 80s all the way through Thursday. So no real break in terms of cooler weather headed our way. Well, when a person says that they're going to do something, they do it. That's a commitment, and that means they keep their promises. Captain Johnny Walker did just that.
Meet 97 years young Vera Walker, who's been fishing since she can remember.
Well, I'm blessed to still have my mom with me. But, you know, she used to take me fishing when I was a little guy. And so I'm paying it back. Take a kid fishing, because someday they may take you.
Captain Johnny recalls fishing with Mom and Dad since he was 3. And his father telling him he should learn how to bait his hooks because he would catch so many that his dad would never have time to fish. Well, this time he was helping out his mom, who caught the first fish and the biggest fish on this day.
What do you think, Mom?
Oh, that's great.
She was happy with that and with what she started many years ago.
Oh, I only had one child. I have 6 great-grandchildren and 6 great-great-grandchildren.
Captain Johnny's better half, Joe, was on board as well, and the ladies were tearing it up. bringing them in one after another. The fishing has been slow lately, but now with the water temperature warming up, the fishing has been doing just the same.
These trout will follow the glass minnows. And if you see some birds diving in a spot, you'll know that these glass minnows are there and the trout are there.
We released most of the fish and kept only a few for lunch.
With these circle hooks, usually a trout gets hooked right in the corner of the mouth, like this one.
Randy's got one.
I'm not gonna keep them unless they're swallowed the hook and they're hurt.
It was a great day on the bay.
What a fantastic day with my mom. Mom, what do I always say?
Take a kid fishing because someday they may take you.
Good.
That was a lot of fun too, fishing with her. She did a great job there. And there's one of her grandkids, or at least he took these guys out. Baywalker 2, Trey Dietz, he was the captain of this boat, and then they caught a lot of those triple tail that you see right there. So those are still being caught. And Captain Brian Marcy can attest to that as he took his charter out there. They caught another huge triple tail. And I can tell you, I've seen a lot of photos coming in of those triple tails lately. Captain Rick Grassett talking about catching trout. Well, he caught some there as well, a pretty big one for his client. And I wanted to thank Holly once again from the Save Our Seabirds. When we were out there fishing near the dock, Pelican had a hook and a lure in the back, and she saved him.
Wow, so great what they do and can help our wildlife here.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you so much, Bob. Despite U.S. Interior Secretary Ryan Zenke's declaration that Florida will not be part of a White House plan to expand into oil drilling, both sides are not having it. The Federal Bureau of Ocean Energy Management holding the only Florida open house today on a proposed 5-year program to open more waters to oil and gas exploration. But participants in competing press conferences just doors away at a Tallahassee hotel agreed on one thing: Zenke's stance on a Florida exemption is not final.
Why are the environmentalists here? Why are they raising hell about this issue if no is no? Because you know what? No is never no. Y'all don't know about the discussions that are being held in private. No publicly can mean a whole lot of things in private.
Our well-being throughout the state of Florida is inextricably tied to a healthy Gulf of Mexico. And I'm talking about not just our economic well-being, but the well-being of our children, the health of our families.
Zenke's announcement, hailed by Florida Governor Rick Scott and environmentalists, has drawn questions about whether the quick decision was made to further Scott's political career. Stay with us. Sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Here's a look at what some people are calling our show.
You're talking about all of my favorite things.
What are your favorite things?
Gays, cakes, and donuts.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Well, I knew that.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You'll like Civic's 5-star safety ratings and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you'll love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Webb.
And I'm Ray Collins, learning lessons from the local government response to Hurricane Irma.
We'll tell you what cities and groups are coming together in a joint meeting to make sure the counties stay safe tomorrow morning on Good Morning Suncoast. John?
So we are watching a front sink south through the state, creating more clouds around and possible sprinkles. We'll talk about the forecast.
Tomorrow at 5 on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC7 is seeking a digital content manager to join our newsroom leadership team. CMS experience required. Visit mysuncoast.com/job-of-the-day to apply. Now, sports.
The Baseball Players Union will open its own spring training camp for the first time since the end of the 1994-95 strike, and it's right here on the Suncoast. Union head announcing today that free agents can work out at the IMG Academy in Bradenton. The camp will open Tuesday and run into March. More than 100 free agents are still seeking jobs. Teams start spring training workouts next Wednesday. And after years of speculation, the Tampa Bay Rays may soon be ready to announce their next big move. Hillsborough County Commissioner Ken Hagan telling the Tampa Bay Times that the Rays' preferred location for a new ballpark is on the outskirts of Ybor City in Tampa. According to Hagan, who says he got his info from the team themselves, the announcement is expected to be made tomorrow at the Tampa Baseball Museum. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
Accolades are great. Just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
I just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Three World War II era planes are spending the weekend in Venice. A B-17, B-25, and P-51 Mustang make up the Warbirds. They travel around the country, giving people a chance to crawl inside and see what it was like to be on those planes.
And just spread to the public, which tend to be learning less and less about World War II, what this greatest generation went through for our freedom.
Now you can see the Warbirds for yourself at the Venice Municipal Airport through Sunday. However, there is a small fee, $15 for adults and $5 for children 12 and under. And certainly a great piece of history there. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night. Have a good evening.
Good night.